I kind of
You
just
don't
wanted
have
to
to.
talk about automation and simplifying your day-to-day life with hacks, tools, mindsets. I think all that's important for us as business owners, you know.
What hacks you got for automation?
Well, I was thinking a little bit about home automation stuff that I've used. Let me turn my camera on here. So we got Tabalo from Yeatum in here, as well as Clara from Clarifications, and Lowfire, who we don't actually know who that is. Also, I shaved. I did it. I was fed up. I couldn't handle it anymore. My beard was like wearing a wool sock on my face. It just gets so curly. It's not there's no straightness. Like my hair is kind of straight. My beard's just like curls. Starts right
Your
here and then
beard
it just
was wearing you. You
my
weren't wearing.
beard was wearing
It
me,
was
yeah.
on brand.
Yeah, so now I'm baby faced Sam again. It really is a 10-year difference
Like a
here.
child.
It's like a 10-year difference. But yes, so productivity wise, I've learned a lot of things over the past couple of years operating an agency and even just being a freelancer. Uh, we talked last week about scheduling, blocking off time, picking 3 things a day to get done, highlighting that one thing that's going to move you forward the most in that day if you accomplish it. And today I want to talk a little bit about simplifying your tasking, simplifying your note taking and planning. I use automation for a lot of things. So if you have something that's automated a part of your life and made things simpler, saved you some time, please tell us in the comments. Leave a reply in the Discord, in the co-working lounge, or on Twitch if you're watching us. You can go to discord.gg/tripa. And we are in that co-working room today right now if you want to join and hang out with us. Otherwise, let's just get rolling and start spitballing some ideas. I'll share what's worked for me, and then y'all can share things that you've used, similar things. So one thing I started using about 2 3 years ago is Google Home, and it's more than just a home automation. I'll be real about that. It's a whole lot of features bundled up in one app. That's honestly simplified my life. So I used to take physical notes, write down stickies and stuff. And now when I'm in the car driving, I need to jot something down. I just use Google's automation, write a note, or I'll open up a Google document. So I'll just say like, "Hey Google, write a task for me or make a task," and it'll put it on my calendar. Privacy? Yeah, privacy. That's kind of random. Privacy for what? Anyways, I'll use that to add tasks to my calendar that then I can go back and look at, and I can put a time or a date, assign them. But it's a lot simpler than finding a pen and paper, writing it down. Just one thing that saves me maybe 5 10 minutes a day. And when we're talking about running a business and running a family or running working a day job as well, anything you can do to save yourself a little bit of time can really help. It harvests data doesn't bother you? No, not at all, to be honest. I mean, my Google Pixel's already recording everything. See, the thing is, if you're using home automation and you're using voice prompts to turn things on and off, it's already picking up that stuff. I know it's not recording and saving it everywhere. I mean, they might be, but I doubt it. They say they don't. But then when I'm talking and it's taking notes on a Google document or something, Google has my information anyways.
So in this day and age, when it comes to privacy, I think a lot of people they like the pseudonym of privacy in the sense of like, oh, I don't want to like dox myself to these specific individuals and communities. But you're really not private in the sense of when you get really hardcore about it, right? So like if you go hit any website you hit, it's going to tell you your IP. You can see your MAC address. You can see what type of operating system you're using.
Yeah.
Um, like you sign up with your email for Discord. Um, your email, you could do a lot of things. Your username, you could do a lot of things. So, uh, if you really care about privacy, it's a lot more hardcore technical than just like, Oh, I just want to feel private. And especially when you're worried about like legit either government oppression or just
But the Google.
criminals.
You should do a data privacy workshop or something in Yeatum. That'd be cool.
We
I
can
bet
figure that out.
I bet you would get a lot of interest around that. Just people concerned about people working in more sensitive areas. You know, you have to be.
We're growing the content factory with the White Rabbit orbit gravity model, and then also need to figure out more like
Mhm.
information oriented ones that aren't exactly just our faces.
Right. We're going to have some more content around this kind of information decentralization or democratization, whatever you want to call it, just giving out the knowledge so people can protect themselves and improve themselves, help you be more competitive in this market, because it really is about what you know and how you apply it. You can't just know stuff, you have to know how to apply it effectively. So this is also an application workshop. So practically, you know, I think using voice to text is very helpful. Saves me a lot of time as well as hand pain from typing.
I love voice to text.
Yeah, that was a huge automation that simplified life.
I still write it first, but that man, that voice to text. I mean, I handwrite it. I like writing, but when it comes to typing it up, that voice to text is amazing.
Right.
Clara, have you tried the Chat GPT-3 API?
No, what is that?
Oh man.
Wait, so does that
Basically,
plug into your phone or anything?
what? The Chat GPT?
The practical application of it. You're just talking about how she tried it, checked
Oh,
it
well
out.
she was saying like text to speech, right? And that's a nifty feature for like transcribing either direction. But I was just like the next level of that is like how you basically get an AI to like answer the question or interact with your text or speech, you know? So I was just curious if she saw it because she never. We haven't talked to her about it, but it basically,
That's true,
Clara,
she's been
it's
gone for a
coming
while.
it's coming for all of our jobs. So we have to learn how to use it and stay on top.
Man, listen. Whew.
Over 3 million people are already using it to extend their creativity,
Oh, I
speed up
use
their workflows, and generate over
What
4
does it do
million.
for?
so it can be used for copywriting, marketing, um, product management, design, art creation. It can write code. I used it this morning to write SQL queries for me. Um, it basically does anything you tell it. Now, one thing it does do it like humans is it also bullshits. You know, like it'll like make something up. But
I have to send you a good one from the other day.
that's pretty
Oh,
good.
Well, shoot. Okay, I'm gonna have to. That's gonna take some. I'm gonna have to turn that over in my brain.
here,
I
here,
I
check this out, Claire. I put it in chat.
I was so the work email here that I that one of them that I use, it will it it's paying attention typing, and then I can click this little icon and it'll tell me what the mood is in my email, like how the reader may perceive it, whether it's positive, informative, directive, angry. Like I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Okay, I'm reading. I'm reading what you put in the chat.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable. Um, you can give it a lot of like general task, and it'll just do it.
I had to go to the bathroom. Did you read that?
Yeah, I saw that one the other day. The like makeup. Makeup.
And it came to pass
Did I
that a
read?
man was troubled by a peanut butter sandwich, for it had been placed within his VCR, and he knew not how to remove it. And he cried out to the Lord, saying, "O Lord, how can I remove this sandwich from my VCR? It is stuck fast and will not budge." And the Lord spoke unto him, saying, "Fear not, my child, for I shall guide thy hand and show thee the way. Take thy butter knife and carefully insert it between the sandwich and the VCR. Gently pry them apart, and with patience and perseverance the sandwich shall be removed, and thy VCR shall be saved." And the man did as the Lord commanded, and lo and behold, the sandwich was removed from the VCR, and the man was saved. And the Lord said, "Verily I say unto thee, seek not to put thy peanut butter sandwiches in the VCR, for this is not a suitable place for such things. Rather keep thy sandwiches in thy refrigerator or on thy plate, where they belong." And the man heeded the Lord's words, and from that day forth he kept his sandwiches in their proper place, and was saved from trouble and woe. Amen.
I feel
I
like
don't know.
one thing this does is, so a lot of people, whether consulting or whatever, the secret sauce is always your knowledge on stuff.
To put
Now,
thy
if
peanut
people
butter
just
sandwiches
front run everything
at
with
the
an
ca-
AI
the sandwich
and then just
not
use all the data the AI has and ask it stuff to make stuff,
Did you read that?
like how would someone know the difference
And
if
it
it's
came to
like
pass
Did I
that a
read?
man was troubled
how
by
would
a
we
peanut
know
butter.
an AI made that versus like just some ghostwriter or just some writer in Hollywood or wherever, like how do you know the difference? That's why I don't.
You wouldn't know the difference. I mean, AI is doing customer service now, right? It's crazy. They literally call you and have whole conversations.
Have you had that happen?
Hmm.
Have you had that happen?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh wow. I don't talk with enough bots. I mean,
You ain't
I'm talking to a
you've
company
not
right
had
now. What?
you've not had the experience of AI like so like say it's a cold say you are a cold caller, you a person calling someone um to vet them about a product or their viability to participate or use a product. That is what these AIs are doing.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they've like this AI is way more powerful than even the stuff like I see. Like I don't know if you've interacted with like a bank support or a lot of generic like chatbot support, and usually they're very limited on the responses or inputs you can give them. Like usually they're standard cookie cutter, like okay, reset password or like transaction problem or uh,
Mm-hmm.
but this one's like you could basically ask it anything and it'll say something. Versus those break like once you get outside of that scope, very
In the VCR.
that narrow
For this
scope.
Right. Right.
to
Right.
put thy
Yeah, it's ooh, I don't know what this world is coming to.
to put
But it mm, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay.
So other productivity stuff. V, what's up? Welcome, V.
Hi,
Anything?
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. How are you?
I'm fine, I'm great, thank you.
Glad to hear that. Where are you coming to us from?
Currently I'm in the Philippines,
All
and
right.
I just saw that there was going to be a workshop, and yeah, I was just curious how things usually goes.
Usually these are actually more structured, but Clara has been very busy recently, so we haven't been doing anything too purposeful with these workshops, if that makes sense. They're more of a casual hangout. This one in particular. So we've been talking about
It's nice.
automation stuff today.
Yeah, I think I was just hearing you discussing GP3.
Yeah, we're talking about the AI chatbots and even using AI for sales calls, cold calling, customer support, stuff like that. I mentioned that I use Google's automation for a lot of home tasks or even business tasks to just take notes for me. I'll set reminders with it. I'll be like, hey, remind me at this time or when I get home. You know, you can do a lot with automation just on your day-to-day life, but then for business application, you can use it to automate at scale and do a lot more calls than you can possibly do on your own as an individual.
Okay, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I do. I think that it's going to be, we're going to adapt to this new world and people are going to learn how to use the tools to do even more impressive things. So, I mean, people talk about losing their job, but I think it's more of using the tools to do a better job.
Well, I wouldn't make it as basic or specific as the loss of a job. My thing is I would love to use the tools if I didn't think the tools would in turn around and use me. That
That's an interesting point.
that
Good point.
that's my concern.
Right. Huh.
So I think that's the part that people resist. I don't think it's just about a job. I think it's like someone. I guess this other guy who he can't verify is about or not. He's talking about the privacy, right? So when it's not just a matter of privacy for use or your information. It's this AI potentially and is proven that it watching every single thing that we do,
Right.
right? And it's then in turn being implemented just like it's so subtle that we don't most people won't can't really detect that what and I'm not saying it is going on, but it looks to me it is. But just like I was just thinking about when I was using my ATM card. So it's big shit. You got a bank, you got an ATM card, you got a passcode, you got a PIN number, right? But now everything has a PIN number. Everything, damn near. And what if you can't? Like, I'm locked out of my Google. Like, I'm locked out of my email. Why? I don't know. I'm being used. So
Hmm.
there's levels of control I think that are being slowly eroded um for the sake of ease and automation. It's quicker, it's easier, it's simpler. I just got to talk. People don't even have to read anymore. They don't even have to know how to read to function
Yeah,
anymore.
it's weird.
Yeah, so it's that's just stuff I keep in the back of my mind.
Hmm.
But don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but it's
Well,
all these movies
Octavia will
aren't
know how to
aren't
read
aren't
for
total.
sure.
All these
Right.
movies are not total fiction.
Right. Right.
So
Let's just hope Terminator is.
you're right,
Let's all just pretend
right.
Terminator is was made by the robots as a joke
I don't
because
know.
they need us. You hear that? You need us.
I don't, honestly, it's hard for me to agree with that.
That they need us.
What do they need us for? Our energy?
Our
That's like the Matrix.
Hmm.
our intuition.
Why?
No, I don't.
Well, the
That,
thing is that I've listened to from most people who talk about these things is that they can replicate almost everything that the human has and is, but it cannot produce consciousness. So that's where it falls down.
hmm. Yeah, I mean, I would tend to agree with that. That's probably the biggest advantage is we are innately able to do more on a conscious level than computers are. Like they're more logical.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking more like about the God gene, right? Your soul. They can't replicate that.
Right, but do they need that? Is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, do they need that? Like, is that a necessity that they would keep us around for if it came to? I love how this went from automation to Terminator. Pretty darn fast. Hey, let's automate our life. This is gonna lead to doom. I mean, hey, I know it is. I know I'm actually like, I don't know. I feel like I'm playing into the future using this kind of stuff. You know, like I'm using Google automation for a lot of things, and I know I'm actually making
Right.
myself more vulnerable. I'm simplifying my life, and I'm ahead of the curve in terms of automating a lot of things people do manually. But am I gonna be the first to get burnt? Probably. Like
Yeah, it is.
like
It's a it
computers
is
just
a
lock
catch
me out of
22.
everything.
There's a catch 22 to it because my nephew tells me, or used to tell me, Clara, you know, you can't pick and choose when you're going to use technology. You either accept it or you don't.
Right.
You
And I
know.
went all in. I was just like, fuck it.
Mm-mm.
And I've gotten burnt. You know, I've been hacked. I've had to learn the hard way. I've then had to, up my security, and like it's stuff like that though that is the learning process. I'm on the bleeding edge of technology, and I believe Triba is too in terms of collaborative community building and networking.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's how we found Tabalo, right?
Right.
And they said things couldn't be done, and I just didn't believe that. And so, yeah, we are evolving and adapting and moving with it. But I think there is a certain mindfulness that should be
Right.
utilized.
Right. And
I
understanding that this is allowing access to your personal life too.
Mm.
Yeah, one of the things that I've been genuinely concerned about is it's a part of why I built Yeetum and this stuff, but it's also goes back to this community mission and
Turn your
more.
camera on.
All right,
Sounds like a clip.
yeah, you're right. All right. Yeah, so one of the things I've been concerned about for a while is the atrophy that happens in this information era where technology is changing at such a rapid pace that the literacy to keep up is going faster than people are able to adapt, in the sense of the technical competencies and literacy you have to know how these AIs work, deploy them, is this kind of fundamental computer science stuff that is more than just marketing. So it's a big reason why Yeetum was built, but it also orients back to the community mission of you have to have people around you that can help you navigate
Mm-hmm.
this, because if you don't, these AIs like this, why would anyone hire you as a copywriter? Why would anyone hire you to write even a programmer code? Like I used it this morning to write a SQL query. It's created a Flutter component on our mobile app rebuild with Atlas. These things are scary to look at, but again, that community mission and that literacy aspect, huge deal in this information. Huge deal. And there's an atrophy to people who don't keep up. And it might scare people hearing this, and they probably realize it's true, but hey, you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. Seeking comfort isn't the solution either.
You are
That's true.
absolutely correct, Tabalo, about that literacy thing because at one point I was ahead of the game, and now I know I'm just, I'm just the best I can do with a lot of things now is find someone who knows because I don't.
Yeah, community support. I think that's key. We don't know everything, but if we collaborate together, we can at least cover the fundamentals and help each other. You know, the first thing I tell people to do is ask a question to the group, even before Googling it. A lot of times, like you could Google it and go through a whole bunch of potential solutions, or talk to somebody who's had experience with it.
Yeah, and usually, the point of this conversation was about automation, and usually in the marketing world, people can do a lot of low code, no code stuff with Zapier or N8N. Um, but even then, it gets like more hardcore because then it's automated, but you grow your dependency on Google. So it's like, okay, how do I automate but not rely on Google? And then it's like, okay, well, you have to learn how webhooks work. You have to know how events work. You have to know how like endpoints and APIs work. You have to know how to schedule stuff or trigger based workflows, and um, it's all rabbit hole of how you design these solutions. But you should always be having in mind the less labor you have to do to have a system of management for your operational organization, the better in general.
Good clip. That's a clip. We got Jenny in here as well. What up, Jenny?
You have to know,
Welcome.
like,
We're talking automation stuff today. I think Zapier and all those apps are great too, for
You scared
simplifying
her.
workflow. She left? Oh no. Hey, Shira. Shira's
Good.
here.
Yeah, hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Welcome to our workshop.
Yep. Just listening along.
Okay, no problem, no problem. So we were just talking about, having the community support when you are trying to do something that requires development. Oftentimes you could try to spend time learning all these different integrations or get somebody in the community we know who has proven themselves working with people in the group and get them to do it. At least then somebody reliable is taking care of it. But I've used Zapier for a lot of things. I've used it for pretty simple stuff, actually, like just inputting things into channels in Discord or adding stuff to a database. Has anyone gotten fancy with it? And I'm sure you've done some stuff, Tabalo.
with what? Zapier?
Is it Zapier or Zapier?
I don't actually use Zapier. A lot of my automation is either Python code or just Node.js code.
All right, so you jump straight to the source there. Anybody
Yeah.
else used automations like Zapier? I unmuted you, Jenny, but there was some background noise for a second. Come on, no one else has automated things. If y'all haven't automated anything, we need to talk. Oh, welcome,
No,
Kurt.
I haven't. Only thing I've automated is the voice to text, that I believe. And then, another automation is the calendar, right? You set up a
Oh, yeah.
random time for the calendar.
Calendly is a great little plugin. I use that as well.
It is. It makes you feel so official. I mean, I don't use it, but I feel like I'm setting an appointment with an executive or CEO, Sam, when I have to send me the Calendarly. I'm like,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah, you better block off some time. I got a busy schedule. I love it though because it simplifies it. You feel more efficient. Well, you are more efficient because you're able to look at your calendar and somebody else's calendar at the same time without even being there. So you just give slots and then you say this time, check this calendar to make sure there's no conflict, and they pull up their calendar. If they have it logged in, at least it'll check their calendar for conflict as well. So it's just like you could spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes going back and forth over several messages to figure out a time to do something or send them one link. Automations like that save you a lot of time. We got Kurt in here too. Welcome, Kurt. He builds agencies.
Oh, crap.
Hey, Dan.
I don't think that
How's it
was
going?
directed towards you, Kurt, when she said, "Oh crap." I think she's at work as well. So
Oh,
It's a
y'all can
com-
hear that?
It's a common reaction now. It's okay.
Kurt's here. Oh crap. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is our productivity. It was more of a mental health workshop before because everybody who's an entrepreneur needs to have their own self-care under control. But now it's more productivity hacks and automation today.
Sure.
Anything you've used when you're building agencies to simplify things or scale things?
Honestly, you just mentioned Calendly, so yeah, lots of little tools
Yeah.
like that. Things like cheap things like Notion are great places to start by organizing your. I think there's I don't know who the YouTube channel guy is. There's like a building your second brain guy. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
look it up. I've stolen
go
some
for it.
things from that. So
Okay,
uh,
cool.
it's a really good system. You don't have to follow it like to the letter, but there's pieces of it that work out really well for me. So
Is it Ali Abdal, that one?
that's it. Yep, Ali Abdal.
Yeah, building a second brain, how to organize your life. Here, I'll drop that
Yep.
link in chat if you guys want to check it out. Nice. Well, there you just added some value to the community. So why don't
All right.
we reciprocate a little and see what you're up to and see what we can add. What's your
Yeah.
business?
Yeah, so I have a couple. So I run I own and I'm the president and a partner of a custom software development agency here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we're
Awesome.
about 7 years old and we've got about 40 employees. And then I also do a podcast, YouTube, and I have a book coming out in January. So
Oh, that's really cool, man. What's your YouTube channel? Let's check it out.
So the podcast and the YouTube channel is called Schmidt List. So it's just Schmidt List.
Oh, wait, did I see this? Where did I
Yeah,
see
you saw it.
this?
I got introduced to you from my
BU,
buddy
right?
Alex.
Oh, right. Yeah, we talked the other day. Yeah, do
Yep.
we have a meeting today? I didn't see anything.
No, I don't think so.
We didn't end up booking something, right? Because your
I
calendar
don't think
was.
so. My calendar was full. My Calendly link was full.
Yeah, that's ironic, right? I was like, wait, I can't even book a time with this dude. He's so busy.
Well, it's also the holidays. There's a bunch of time off coming up, so
I got you.
makes it even worse. So, but I did go ahead and make some adjustments to it. So if you want to click the link again and see
Okay.
if there's something in there that works for you, it'd be great to chat.
For sure, yeah. I'm glad we got to meet in this setting though as well, because this is just a community hangout, and we love to meet experts, people who have been successful in the agency business building. We learn from you guys, as well as hopefully are able to help in some different ways.
Yeah, no, I'm more than happy to. If anybody ever has questions about, building a consultancy or an agent or, a more formal agency or solo consultants, those types of things, those are things that I do a lot of mentoring and coaching on. I'm also a member of ADP List, which is a great mentoring website. I coach, I get a chance to coach people all over the world. So it's a lot of fun.
We should try to
Kurt,
work with
you and I-
ADP lists
you and
to
I
bring
need
them
to
on
talk,
Discord.
Kurt.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to send me a request.
Kurt, I have a question for
Yeah,
you.
go ahead.
As far as consulting or coaching, right? It do you know people who have success with this on a part-time basis?
Yeah, I do, but again, it's more challenging because the timing, right? The flexibility in the timing. Because if you aren't available when they're available, it can cut back your opportunities. But absolutely, I've seen people be successful uh, part time. But again, I think it depends on the industry that you're in, or the type of person you're going after.
Right. And then too, Kurt, how do people parlay that into paid speaking or engagements?
Yeah. Well, what I've found for paid speaking engagements, uh, there's some places online where you can join communities to do that. To get on. I think there's I don't know. There's like speaker.org or some other thing. I don't remember what it is, but there's some places where you can go and get some info on paid speaking gigs. But honestly, like the way that
Mhm.
I've done it is number one is the podcast has helped a lot. So having another thing like a podcast, a blog, a book, a newsletter, something like that has really helped myself and then other people I know that do paid speaking gigs to get those jobs, because you use those to kind of to use your nomenclature to parlay um, into connecting with the people that organize those events. So networking with people that organize events, sharing with them your podcast or your blog or things, and then mentioning like, hey, I speak on these 3 subjects. Here's an outline of what my talk would be like. Let me know. I'd love an opportunity to speak at one of your events in the future.
That's a great piece of advice right there.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, on LinkedIn, the best thing like I said, like search for like event organizer or community manager, or different types of titles, conference manager, conference whichever, and those types of people, like I said, connect with there, and start sharing with them some of the content you might make somewhere else, and let them know you're available for speaking events in 2023 and so on and so forth. But the thing that I found is um, uh, speaking events get you speaking events. So even if you're not getting paid for them,
Right.
doing as many as you can get your hands on, and then letting people know during the speaking event that you are available for other speaking
Yeah.
events is really great. So
That's a really good point too. I started off just interviewing a bunch of people who had done speaking events, talking to them, and then finding out basically the same kind of thing you just
Yep.
mentioned. So I got in with some community managers, built up the ecosystem of community managers. In Triba, there's about 33 different ones that have their own small groups. So I've spoken at a lot of them, even in like VR networking, at big VR conferences, just because I knew them and I knew they were looking for speakers. So oftentimes they're looking for people to fill those spots.
Yep.
So you need to get it out there to them. Hey, I'm available to do this. Because I think it was
Yep,
when I expressed to
exactly.
him, hey, I'd love to give a talk on my process for Discord growth, and then it turned into hey, put together a little topical little list of what you want to talk about, and we'll set it up.
Yep.
And there's
100%
speaking
so.
opportunities in here. I mean, Clara, just tell people, hey, I've been speaking in Triba as well. I ran this. Here's some of the, maybe send them one of the archived videos on YouTube or some of the TikToks where you're sharing. I think that would be a good lead in.
Yep, it's a good lead in. And like I said, like have some
Okay.
canned things that you talk about. Because one of the most frustrating things for event organizers is when you just are like, I don't know, I can speak on anything.
Right.
You gotta have like a small summary or things you can send to them ahead of time that say, I speak on this subject, whichever, right? Like I've got like 3 or 4 talks that are just built, right? They're just ready to go. And there's ones that are more general, some that are very specific, right? I've got like a talk on like how to market a marketing agency, which I've done at a number of internal marketing companies at their internal marketing conferences and at external marketing places. Now, I'm not a marketer. I just play one on TV. um, I'm not I'm not professionally raised as a marketer, but I've had to learn building a business, how to market. So
Honestly, you should come give that in Triba. We could
I'd be more than happy to.
definitely give that same talk very easily with my process. I've streamlined it so that setting up events with people like you coming in who have expertise, like once you're verified, we can just go ahead and set up an event with a few clicks and it'll publish. Well, it won't publish. We have to actually publish, but
Yeah. No, I do some speaking on DMC, the digital marketing community.
oh, nice.
I do a bi-weekly live event there where it's just called I think it's just called Clients and Careers. And we just
Okay.
people just show up and we talk about either, their career development or they're looking for clients, and how to get them. So
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Hey
how many
guys.
people?
Hey, real quick, Kirk. I sent you a friend request. Sam, thank you
Yeah.
for setting this up. Tabalo, I'll be in touch, and you all have a great day. I love
yeah,
you.
You
nice to
too,
Have
meet you, Claire.
Clara. Love you too.
all
Have a
right. Bye
good
bye.
day.
Bye,
All
Clara.
right, thanks. Bye.
We're just a big family here in Triba.
I
But
love it.
how many people would show up for those on an average?
It depends on the time of day, to be honest. If it's earlier in the morning, it's less people. The later in the afternoon, usually the better.
Yeah.
I just find again, like those people are usually busy. The people that I'm talking to are usually busy working. So they're in meetings or they're doing stuff. And so usually later in the day, like,
Yeah, so you've
3-4
experimented
p.m.
a
end
little
of the
bit.
day. Yeah.
Okay.
Even some that are in the evenings. So
Yeah, we've tried all different times of the day. 12 o'clock actually just seems to work pretty well
does it?
on the, at least for the Eastern people. But yeah,
Yeah.
we get people in the UK tuning in for these
Sure.
on the Pacific Coast, all over. So
That's
I
great.
think it more matters like that you're positioning it right for people's interest. Like,
Yeah.
oftentimes people are reluctant to hop in on something where they know they're gonna be like evaluated. That I've had the hardest time getting people to come to, believe it or not. You'd think that like a pitch club or pitch night and stuff like that would be really popular, and it is among a very certain audience, but it's just like people don't want to come and just have you tear apart something. But then you
Yep.
get people in here just talking about whatever, and it's an interesting topic, and then they'll pitch their whole business to you, and
Yeah.
you get a good understanding of what they're actually trying to do. There's a lot of really cool startups in Tribo. A lot.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
great.
It's a little
Yeah.
gold mine that not many people know about above the age of 30, 35. It's like my generation, I'm a day one Discord user, but I don't think anyone above my age really knows the vast potential of these really tight-knit sub-communities that are like families. You don't get that on social media or LinkedIn. Like,
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, and it's funny because in my book I mention Slack communities and Discord communities as
oh,
great
no
places
way.
to network. Yeah.
Oh, dude, you're on board. You get it. I mean, obviously,
yeah, I
I
get
already
it.
knew that because you're the one who told B. No, wait, No, you're not the one. Okay, I'm confusing two different guys here. Never mind. CMOS connected us, right?
Yes, that's right, Alex.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's really
and-
awesome. We had like a 2-hour chat yesterday, guys. He's gonna do an event with us as well. I've been setting up one with him and another coach who does more like creativity. He's a creativity coach for like
That's
content creators. He's a Twitch partner and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, people older generation. I mean, myself, I'm unique. I mean, I'm 20 years older than you are. So.
Oh yeah, you're into this though. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, no, I've always been a technology junkie since I was a youth.
That's awesome.
And I mean, my company, that's what we do. We build apps and things like that. So,
Okay.
it's just part of my life.
So do you run a team of developers then?
Designers, developers, and strategists.
Okay.
So we do end-to-end product development.
Okay.
So
How
whether
big
it
is
be
your
a
team?
web application or a mobile application or those types of things. So.
Okay. How big are you guys right now? Your team? I'm just curious.
40 full-time employees.
Wow. I'm assuming you guys probably have a Discord or Slack or something, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Me and one of my partners are doing a LinkedIn Live event later this afternoon on things we're excited for 2023.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
And we're trying out the audio events because I get a kick out of those. So the video
That's pretty
stuff is cool. But,
we streamed to LinkedIn the other day from Discord.
Did you?
We didn't get a lot of exposure on LinkedIn. I think 8 people said they wanted to come, but no one actually like showed up.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're not showing up, but we focus on Discord and Twitch and YouTube, and
That's
then
cool.
creating the smaller digestible pieces for TikTok and Instagram. That pipeline's operating pretty smoothly, and I think that way people get the small things that they need, and then that piques their interest. They go check out the Discord or wherever you're recording the content to actually be part of it and contribute their comments, whatnot.
Yeah, I found with the live streaming is just consistency wins. So yeah, the first 20 streams I did, I got like 2 people maybe, but
Mhm.
then all of a sudden, just there was a tipping point of where more
Mhm.
and more and more people started showing up. So to me, it was just like
Right.
anything on social
Yeah.
media, just because it's live versus a recorded video, like consistency beats strategy every day of the week. So
Yeah. No, yeah, that's very true. And the fact that Tribe has done well is a large part because we've consistently done live events for almost 2 years now,
yeah, that's great.
every week. It's been a lot
Yeah,
of
well,
fun.
congratulations. This is a great. I've been enjoying being a lurker for the most part,
Cool.
so it's good.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that feedback. It's we try to get at least one or two emotional connections from on a personal level when people come in. My background's in psychology and biochemistry. So I'm really into the chemistry and cognitive science of marketing and community. How people find out about things, how do they build trust, and what does that look like? What are the things
Oh,
you
that's
can
great.
do
You
as
should
a
come on. You should come on my podcast sometime. I talk about the emotional labor that goes into the type of work we do
dude?
a lot
I
on
would
my show.
love to. I've been wanting to talk more about this on somebody's podcast. I've listened to Marketing Over Coffee a lot. I don't
Yeah.
know if you ever heard of it, but
Yep.
they talked about Discord and Slack communities a couple weeks ago, and I messaged them, emailed them. I think sent them some stuff on social media, and no response. Like I was just like, guys, I want to talk to you. Come and try or something. Like it would be so cool. But yeah, Discord is a massive, massive gold mine that will
Totally.
probably become the Facebook of Web3. That's my guess. Is either that or Musk might buy Discord. I mean, he'll probably offer them a lot. They'll probably turn it down because it's
Yeah.
a very gaming community. But I think Twitter is going the direction of becoming a Discord. Having
sure.
live voice channels, and it's the permanence and serendipity of hopping into a community chat and meeting people like this, and then also having the ability to stream from here. Like, we restream this stuff to Twitch, YouTube, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn I haven't been doing consistently, and now that you're mentioning that, I'm gonna go back and start doing this consistency with LinkedIn streaming because it is a good
Yeah.
place to meet
They're
business
streaming
minds.
on LinkedIn?
Not
It
right
is.
now. That's the consistency part.
Yo.
I gave up on LinkedIn and stopped doing it.
Hey Kurt, I want to ask you a question. So, are you guys looking for a UX UI designer?
I don't know if we have. I don't usually handle the hiring stuff.
Okay.
But I'll put. Let's see. Let me look on our careers page real quick. I
You
don't
could
see
drop
an
a link to it
open-
if you want.
I don't see an open one right now, but you're more than welcome. I mean, we're always passively hiring, so more than welcome to check out the site and submit your resume. Because if we don't have something available and you look legit, then we'll do at least an informational interview and let you know when we have an open position. So um,
You guys are in the US?
yeah, we're in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Right. Do you
Minnesota.
hire people abroad or no?
We do. We do. The majority of our people in our Minneapolis office are local. We also have a small New York office, and there's really only a couple people there, but a few other people are remote in other nations. So
I'm close to New York though.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're close
how
to
do
New
you-
York. Why were you asking about abroad?
I'm in Canada. Close to
Oh,
New York.
right.
they're close to New York.
Yeah, abroad. I
Okay.
mean, I guess it is.
Can
I
I
was
add you?
I was just in Toronto. Wonderful
Really?
town. Yep.
Nah, Montreal is better, bro. You gotta come to Montreal.
Is
Toronto
it?
is like, yeah, Toronto is. I don't know, man. I don't like it.
I don't know about that, but
Oh,
I don't know why anyone would want to live in Canada.
This is
Come on, man.
Oh, this is taking a turn. This is taking a turn.
got
I'm in
political.
Yeah. But one thing about Discord, Microsoft was actually going to buy them, I think, for like $13 billion, and then
And that was like
I guess,
a year ago.
and it didn't go through. But I've actually, I saw my friend in Ireland, he was showing me this thing that came across his Mastodon feed, and it was like this thing called Common Grounds. And one interesting aspect, which I'm curious how Discord could evolve, or they'll have to compete, it's like how you do like the DAO type of governance, where you can have like voting and proposals and like signature based voting, cryptographic signature based voting, and that whole governance piece, I think, is for serious online communities. I think it's a very important thing to solve, and especially when you're onboarding, serious people into
Yeah.
a community. So
Serious people. Quality over quantity. It matters. Discord is estimated to be around 15 billion. More than 3/4 of Discord users say they use the app for non-gaming activities. Yeah, I think businesses trying to operate on Slack are missing out on a lot of potential to integrate apps beyond what Slack has made, because Slack doesn't have the same ecosystem of bots and applications built around it. Discord has history. Discord's seen things, man. Discord.
Slack is kind of bad, to be honest. It's just more secure, for companies. But
Yeah, I get that, but Discord's adding, just added actually, I think,
Discord is I don't know, man.
some
I saw a
extra
few YouTube videos.
encryption.
They're basically owned by China, man. I don't think you're
Discord,
they need
really?
to- Yeah. They got bought out. I think like 30% of Discord is owned by Tencent, which is a CCP company. So your
Wait,
data
really?
is based.
Dang.
Yeah,
I
Oh,
didn't know
and they
that.
track everything
All
you
right,
do.
I'm
Like
deleting it right
everywhere
now.
you
I'm just
Dude, China's figured
Oh,
it
yeah,
out.
bad.
China.
Oh yeah, they
China's
own
figured it
Reddit.
out. They own.
They own Discord. I don't know what else they own. They own a lot of like tech companies.
See, people think the battle's happening on the waters with the ships and the planes, and no, it's happening on Discord and in Fortnite, and the indoctrination of our generation.
Scary stuff, man.
That's deep right there.
Hey, it's such a great tool that I don't mind my fucking data being farmed. Fuck it.
Unfortunately, I feel like that too.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, even if China owns Discord, I'm probably still going to use Discord.
Right. Can't get around it.
Unless we come up with a better app.
I don't know, man. It's probably not gonna happen. I think they pumped so much money just in investments.
Yeah,
Then
it
I
has
did
the
not know-
best features.
How did Discord not go with Microsoft and then they go with Tencent? What the heck?
because I don't think Tencent wants to. They don't care. Like Microsoft would have like integrated it with this Microsoft suite or whatever. Tencent doesn't
Azure.
care. They just want the data, bro. They don't care who runs what. They don't care. They're just gonna keep the same CEO and everything, but they want the data. From the
In
users.
2016, they got 20 million from largest investor was Warner Media. Since then, it's been acquired by AT&T. Send me something to prove this, because up to this point, this was unbeknownst to me, and I don't want to just,
I'm looking at this Reddit thread about it, and it says they're just an investor. But okay, anyone who
Yeah,
knows
they
how
own
how
a huge.
yeah,
percentage.
anyone who knows how business works.
Okay, so like when they're a big investor like that, it's obviously board influence and governance influence and the C-suite influence, which could affect like their how they recruit people in there, how they like influence the IT governance, and so that is definitely possible, and it's definitely possible, through that influence, that data gets sent that way. And I know the Chinese, in China they have a database on like every U.S. American, and they're building more and more. So
Discord CEO proves there's life without Microsoft. Maybe rejecting Microsoft offer wasn't such a bonehead move on the part of Citron. Huh. I mean, I guess I should just search for Tencent.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that's interesting. There's no article about it, but
There's nothing.
yeah, but I don't think they really report on what Tencent um invests in, because I know they have shares in Epic Games, Riot Games,
Reddit.
Reddit. Yeah, a lot of things, and like even if you Google how much does Tencent own of Reddit, it won't tell you. But
I mean, they own the biggest games that are pulling the largest Discord audience, probably.
nah, they just own shares, like he said. But if you own like, I don't know, 11% of shares, you can get
Right.
access to a lot of stuff.
See, I don't understand how they really own shares of Discord. I guess they just, it's not publicly traded, but they can own shares.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they make deals in the background. Here,
Oh, look, here's an article that does say they have shares of Discord. Interesting. All right, it is 1:08, so officially our productivity meeting is over. Kurt, all right, man. Yeah, we'll talk about the podcast. I'd love to get on there and talk with you some more. That sounds interesting. Did he already hop off? He already hopped off. Okay. Kareem, Shareem, or Shira? How do you pronounce her name?
Just Shira.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you.
V, thanks for hopping on.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. And we got Ali in here now.
Hello, this is my first time on the VC on the server. Nice to
Oh.
meet you guys.
Welcome, welcome. We actually are just wrapping up a workshop talking about productivity hacks, automation and such, and then it led into Terminator and how Tencent owns everything and is going to destroy us all. So
Perfect. Nice. Nice to hear that.
It's been a great meeting, though. I think I got a few key things to take away in terms of, or at least to think about in terms of data and privacy and who I'm letting control my information. But also,
so you're wrapping up this session now?
Yeah, we're wrapping up the stream at least,
Okay.
but people usually will hang out past the stream. So if you guys want to check out the Triba, if you're on Twitch, go to twitch.tv/Triba Business Community. I copy the link and put it in here. Drop us a follow. You know, we're wrapping up right now, but we stream every day except for Friday from 1 to or 12 to 1 Eastern time and wrap up about now.
Perfect.
Yeah, and you're always welcome to stop in here too. Almost every day. Weekday.
Thank you, man.
Weekday.
It's a pleasure.
And hopefully we'll get to know you a little bit more. I actually have to hop off for another meeting, so I'll be back and co-working in a little bit. But thanks everybody for stopping in, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Philosophy and Branding Workshop.
Sure, man.
That's all for today, Twitch and YouTube. Go to discord.gg/Triba.